So, I don't know if you knew this, but I discovered this earlier on this week. But did you know that Zach Brown was on Wheel of Fortune in the US?
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
he actually genuinely was. So I can't remember what podcast it was, but I found the clip and they're discussing Zach Brown's Wheel of Fortune. I believe it is the Red Flags podcast. I will give credit where credit is due. But I have a video to genuinely, I have a video to show you. I will share my screen.
Oh my
I will
God.
show you Zach Brown on Wheel of Fortune. I'm also thinking about buying this coat, by the way.
Okay. I mean, that's a good coat for someone who lives in Denmark.
Yeah, it's quite nice, right? Because McLaren have just announced their new clothing range, and I actually quite like it. However, I'm not paying £180 for it, so I will wait for a sale. But
isn't it crazy that it's £180 for extra small, and how much is like a 4XL?
I know.
Same price.
It'd be the same price, yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. But right, here we go. So here is Zach Brown on Wheel of Fortune. Like, it's a genuine thing.
Zach claims to be 13 years old. Is that true?
That's me.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're the one.
Yeah.
What do you like to study in school, Zach?
Math, history, science.
Yeah, so he was on Wheel of Fortune, and then apparently what he did was he used the money that he won to fund his racing career. So without Wheel of Fortune, he wouldn't be like in the position that he's in. How weird is that?
It's a strange. It's a what's that butterfly effect, isn't it?
It's a butterfly flaps its wings, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. And like McLaren signed 800 sponsors. That's how the butterfly effect works. But I just discovered that. I wanted to kick off this week's podcast with sharing that with you. I think if you're listening, you can literally just go onto YouTube and search for Zach Brown. And remember, Zach is spelled Z-A-K. Zach Brown's Wheel of Fortune, and you can find the very short clip. I won't share too much of it on our channel because copyright and all that fun stuff, so I don't want to get shouted at. But there you go.
Wow.
Learn something new every day, don't you? And if you know of any other Formula One personalities who have been on TV shows and stuff like that, let us know, and we can definitely review them and have a look.
The only one I remember was Gunther Steiner talking about a Ford car.
Yeah, he was doing some sort of advert or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, or some promotional material for Ford. That's the only one I know.
But there you go.
There we go, mate. The internet never forgets.
No, it does not. Even though this was before the internet. Ridiculous.
Madness.
But yeah, so what has been going on? So today, as of recording, is the 12th of February. So we've had some of the car launches. We've had a little bit of news recently. We're obviously now between... I think the news of Lewis going to Ferrari has settled in, right? It's become fact now rather than people going crazy.
Yeah, it's I think why it was so crazy was that it came out of nowhere. Usually you hear little rumors and murmurings about, Lewis was spotted speaking to things like John Elkann, who's the chairman or CEO of Ferrari, and all these little things. And it kind of just builds up and builds up. This was literally in the morning. Lewis Hamilton's going to Ferrari, and 7 p.m., so about 10 hours later, statements have been released by Ferrari and Mercedes saying Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari. And then... it died down and normal service has resumed with car launches.
Yes, pretty much. Although, did you catch Alonso's comments around the move of Lewis going to Ferrari?
So I've only seen the headlines and I've not seen the whole interview. So I don't know what context it was taken in.
So there are a couple of bits that you can take out of that. And then also for people that don't know, one of the quotes, which we did actually post on our Instagram, go ahead and follow us on Instagram. And also, if you're listening to this, be sure to rate this podcast and follow us on your preferred podcast platform. I've gotten really good at saying that. But so he actually posted, actually posted on the 107 podcast account on Instagram that Alonso said, and this is in reference to the driver market, there are only 3 world champions on the grid, and there is only one available. That is probably like he comes out with these quotes all the time, and he must write these. He's there with Peter Drury writing up some of this just fire because like to drop a line like that, only one world champion is available.
Yeah, I did see that quote.
So good. So yeah, he dropped that nugget, and then also he said that Lewis's dream of driving a Ferrari maybe only existed 2 months ago, maybe not childhood. I was like, oh, that's a little bit of a shot. However, I actually went back through some Hamilton interviews because yes, this is how much of an absolute nerd I am. But I went back through some of his interviews. I actually found a reference from a interview back in 2015, I want to say, where Lewis does actually say that he would love to finish his career at Ferrari. I'm trying to find.
I'm sure.
Trying to find the screenshot now. Here it is. Yes. So he said, I don't know. Maybe I'll want to do some other stuff after I stop racing. The interviewer asks, music? And he says, yeah, maybe some other stuff too. The interviewer asks, do you think you'll stay at Merck until you retire? And he says, well, what I'd really like to do one day is drive for Ferrari. He then continues and says, yes, that would be a great way to end my F1 career, wouldn't it? To win championships for McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari. From 2015, I believe. There you go.
I mean, Alonso's like...
he loves stirring the pot.
Yeah, just going to stir that a little bit. You know?
Has to stir the pot.
He even said it in Drive to Survive. I can't remember his exact words. He's like, you have some good characters and some villains. And he's painted as the villain.
And he's happy with that.
But he also, I think I saw also in the interview that he mentioned he does feel like he does have several more years left in F1, which is very interesting. So we could see some more spicy Fernando.
We could, yes, we absolutely could, even just this year. So, I think that was the gist of the comments, really. But still interesting that he's made them. So
we'll see. Should we address the elephant in the room?
What is the elephant in the room?
It's should we address the bull in the room? The Red Bull
in the room, yes.
The bull in the room. Obviously, we can't. No one knows, right? No one knows. But obviously, Christian Horner is under investigations for. At this moment, no one knows, right? Allegations have been made.
Inappropriate behavior, I think, is the line.
Inappropriate behavior. We don't know if it's like sexual inappropriate behavior. A lot of the stuff coming out is a hostile work environment towards a female colleague. Either way, I've heard through the grapevine from a friends, brothers, wives,
dog sitters, neighbors, uncles,
neighbors, uncles,
mechanic who heard it from his friend's neighbor's driver.
Yeah. Allegedly, that he is no longer team principal. Whether he stepped down or whether he has been removed, he is no longer team principal. Now, whatever the allegations are, whatever has happened, whether it's true or not, something has to come out by Thursday, which is the Red Bull car launch day.
Yes.
Because if you're a team principal, you're there. And every single question would be about what this incident is and what the response is going to be. So I think we're going to expect a decision in the next 2 to 3 days on Christian Horner's future. And the way it's looking, we may not see him in Formula One anymore.
Well, we may not see him at Red Bull anyway.
Okay, we may not see him at Red Bull, probably.
Or at the very least for the foreseeable future. I think that if, obviously, your best friends, neighbours, dogs, uncles, whatever, we only have the best sources here on this podcast. Exactly. But if the rumour is true and that he has either stepped down or been removed, then I would say that the time it's taken, obviously, to get to this point, I can't imagine that he's done something illegal or particular, like really, really horrible. Otherwise, it would have been a straight cut thing. I think that's my only thing. I'm not excusing his behavior because we still don't even know what it is. However, that's my only thing, is that I think that if it was something truly like properly awful, he probably would have been gone a hell of a lot sooner than them not dragging this out, but like the process. Apparently, phone calls were made as well, allegedly by Bernie Ecclestone to influence decisions and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. So yeah, but I mean, let's be honest, I don't think we're ever going to know the truth about this, right? And that's probably something that people just need to accept, but I don't know.
We only know two things, which is allegations were made and Red Bull released a statement around it.
Yeah.
And he had a hearing on Friday, which apparently lasted like 8 hours.
Apparently, yes.
And then that is all. That's all that's just been released. So,
there is also rumors around, obviously, Newey potentially having a contract that protects him, and so he could potentially move to a different company or whatever. Although those contracts or those clauses probably wouldn't surprise me. And I don't think they'd surprise many F1 fans. I don't think he's going to suddenly jump ship to Ferrari. I think he's pretty well suited to where he is, to be completely honest. And in terms of if there were to be a new team principal, I have heard that Jonathan Wheatley's name has been thrown around a couple of times as well. So yeah, that's about all we know, really. I say all we know. Half of that was rumors. We still don't fully know. But knowing this podcast, the second we hit publish, there'll be brand new news out. It's happened to F1 Coffee Corner a couple of times in the last few weeks as well. So yeah, who knows?
I mean,
maybe
we did
too.
F1 bingo, and the next day Hamilton went to Ferrari.
Yeah,
and we did. This was the one time where it actually was a little bit crazy, where I don't know what race we were talking about, and then I was like, Daniel Ricciardo's come back to AlphaTauri.
Yeah, it was.
We were like,
yeah,
what? We were just like,
it was Nick DeVries has been let go, and we just all of a sudden found that out. That was wild.
I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to have the Formula One news just here.
Just refresh it just before we finish up.
Just like, has anything happened?
But so obviously that's one car launch coming up. We've had some car launches. Now, we're not going to rate the liveries because I believe we're working on something in the background to potentially rate some liveries and discuss all of them at once. But what have your impressions been so far? Do you know what we should talk about first? Overall, paint usage. Your thoughts?
Pretty fucking bad, man.
Yeah, where is the paint? Yeah, for me personally, I actually quite like the look of the cars with the carbon exposed and stuff like that. However, I would prefer a bit more colour, lads. Just a little bit more. But also, we haven't seen them all on track yet, so we don't quite know exactly how they're all going to look on track. Like I think we said before, like the McLaren looks so much better and more like vivid on track than it did in photos. So I will give them the little bit of benefit of the doubt until they're
Why was it
on
vivid?
track.
Why was it vivid?
Because it was bright fucking orange and blue, which it's now only bright orange. And even then, I think the orange is the darker tone as well. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think that, like, Renault, before they changed to Alpine, that like black and yellow livery worked out really nicely for them, and that had pretty much all black paint on it as well. So, I mean, it can be done correctly and look nice.
But the thing is, it's like when they're doing the color schemes, if you take Renault, they're like, we're going to do black and yellow and we're going to make it work. Yep. Whereas now, if you take the cars now, it's like say Alpine, right, we have to have as much weight saving as we can, and then we'll make the livery work around the carbon fiber. Yeah. Which is, I mean, we'll talk about all the car liveries in a bit, but when they just had that, do you want to see the pink one? It was like literally no different to the blue one.
Literally, yeah.
It was like, and then they teased the camo pink, and I was like,
that really annoyed me. Yeah.
This could be interesting. And yeah, so I think, if I'm the FIA, would it be the FIA or would it be FOM? FIA, I would have
technical directive.
I would have weight allowances for paint.
Do you know what?
The cars looking different.
The easiest thing to do would be to say that paint does not count towards the total weight of the car. That's all they'd have to do.
Yeah, but they're trying to make the car as light as possible.
Yes, no, I understand that. However, if they say that obviously that it doesn't like count towards the weight of the car, they can focus on other areas essentially to save weight. So like because obviously there's a minimum weight for each of these cars as well. So oh, but wait, no, the problem isn't that they're too light, is it? It's that they're too heavy.
Yeah, that's why they're cutting down on the paint, because they don't want to.
Yeah, sorry, I got the. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking that they were.
That's why I was like,
idiot.
So basically, let's start from like, let's just say your car has to be 700 kilos, right? And if every manufacturer hits up with just carbon fiber, they're not going to want to add paint on. So maybe you say, whatever weight your car is, it's 700 kilos, and then you have to put X amount of kilos of paint on it.
Yeah,
like that.
Or like a minimum percentage of the bodywork must have some sort of paint on it. That
Otherwise, like, if the cars look too similar, and it's very difficult also to like sometimes tell the drivers apart. You know, you don't see the numbers that clear.
That's actually why I liked Mercedes using different colors for the driver numbers. So obviously, I think George was the blue and then Lewis was the green. I really liked that, actually. That was really, really nice. And I think that they should do that a little bit more, especially if drivers have similar colored helmets as well. It can make it even more difficult too. So yeah, something potentially just need to be looked at. Because we like even if they just swapped out the exposed carbon fiber to black paint, like it'd be more boring, but it would open up for more opportunity.
Have you noticed nowadays, obviously that the driver numbers are part of their marketing, that they're going very like, you know, football, NFL, basketball with the numbers on the back. I think the Ferrari guys have it on their fire resistant
overalls,
And so I think they should write the driver's name on the car. Just on the side of the car, just have like Leclerc or Hamilton where the engine bay is or something.
What about the national flag? Because that would be quicker to read visually than the name itself. So if you just had the driver flag next to the driver number, I think the driver name just adds that little bit more to it. You can have both. I think
because they do sometimes they. Yeah, but it was
on the
tiny.
halo. They had the driver's Instagram on the halo.
But I'm talking about if you were like out like.
Oh yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying like they've had like driver @ handles and social media handles and stuff on the halo and stuff like that. So like it wouldn't be unheard of to have.
I'm talking big, massive. Like
well, you say that, but the new. Oh my god, the new team boss of Haas, his name is plastered all over the Williams.
That's what I'm saying.
What? How does that make any sense? I'm sorry, but if you're from Komatsu and you didn't sponsor Haas or didn't try and get your name on the Haas, that's a missed approach. Surely you should have tried to get your name on the Haas.
Do you know what? This is where you put it. You put it on the rear wing.
Yeah.
So you've got the front part of the rear wing. Let's just say you have Leclerc, and you put it on the back. So if you see like a car in front of you, you know exactly who it is. Because sometimes they're like, who was that? Mercedes or Red Bull or whatever in front of me. Now you know. Same as like know, footballers, they have the name and everything on the back.
Well, Stake have #Unleashed on the back of their car, and they won't actually be able to run some of the stickers on their car for some of the races anyway. So they've got room.
So yeah, I mean, you could have like the full name, and it'll be like let's just take Charles Leclerc, and then when the DRS goes up, it's just Leclerc.
I mean that could work. But so going backwards, I think that the disappointing thing for me is that obviously the two cars that won races last year, i.e. the Ferrari and the Red Bull, were covered in paint. So very clearly, you don't need to reduce the amount of paint in order to go faster. Kind of. You can do it in other ways other than just not painting your car as much. Just my opinion. But so I tell you what, of the liveries so far, do you have a favourite? So we've had the Red Bull, the Alpine, the Sauber, the Williams, the Haas, and obviously the McLaren as well. Do you have a favourite so far?
Just because of the green, it's Aston Martin.
Ah, yes, sorry, Aston as well. Aston does look very good.
Yeah. Should we do a livery review? Should we look through the liveries?
I thought we were going to do that in a separate thing.
I thought we were going to do the top 3 in a separate one.
We can do the top 3 in a separate one. But I thought we were going to do everything all at once. But I mean, we can run through them now. Why not? I have a BBC article open. Other reports are available. But so the Haas car.
Okay, we'll start with Hassan.
Thoughts on the Haas car? Because I quite like it.
It's more black. It's more black.
It looks mean. It looks like it's been hurt. Like it's coming for revenge type thing.
I'm looking at the car. That's why I'm not looking at you. I guess I don't really care too much because they just came out and they said, we're still behind. It's going to be as fast. And,
that's very.
But I think it looks nicer than last year's car. It definitely looks nicer than last year's car.
So I tell you what. Here's what we do. Compared to last year's car, is it a glow up or a glow down?
Yeah.
Is it a glow up or a glow down?
It's a glow up.
It's a glow up. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Williams, this year's car compared to last year's car. What are you thinking? Glow up or glow down?
I would say glow down.
I would say glow down as well. It's not quite as nice. However, it still has the best branding of any Formula One team ever with that Duracell air intake. That is phenomenal. I've banged on about it enough times, but it's so good. So
yeah, I don't like the fact that again, it's lost some of the blue because it's quite dark. But I think it's a glow down. But I still think it's a good looking car.
Yes, it still looks good. It's one of my favourites so far, if I'm honest.
Cool.
Here's the ugly step. The ugly sib. Oh, what's the ugly stepsister or like whatever? I don't know.
Ugly duckling.
Ugly duckling, I guess works, but that's not quite what I had in my mind. But so the Sauber / kick.
Dark Kermit.
It does look like Dark Kermit. It also looks like an Asda delivery van. But I actually kind of.
Do you know what?
I quite like it.
I think it would look better in real life.
Yeah, it's gonna be those ones where I feel like this one's gonna be almost like Marmite. You're either gonna love it or hate it. But compared to last year, glow up or glow down?
Glow down.
I think glow down as well, but I do quite like it. But I did like the old Alfa Romeo.
The Alfa Romeo red is really nice.
Yeah, this one is very obvious. It's a glow down. It's Alpine.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
Sorry, it's not terrible, but I don't like it.
Considering the 2021 Alpine with that, that was beautiful. Yeah, the blue one, and so I call it black because it's majority.
Because it's majority black. Yeah,
the blue one and the pink one, just not feeling it at all.
I do, however, like the fact that the wheel covers on the Alpine are different colours for the front and back.
Are they?
Yeah, so the front are blue and the back are pink.
That's pretty
I actually
nifty.
quite like that. Like that's a cool little design feature that I quite like. I haven't seen any of the F1 team do that. What about RB, Racing Bulls, V-Carb, whatever you want to call them?
Nah.
So a lot of people have said,
I don't even think it's
the Toro Rosso. It looks so good. I think it looks shit.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I like their race suits. The race suits are nice and clean.
I like the race suits. However, have you seen the fleece jumper things that they have, or the shirts? They look rank. I don't like them at all. For me, that red and that blue don't go together.
No, they don't.
And I'm a graphic designer. I don't like it. I think that the red of the Orlan doesn't fit with the blue. It looked awkward on the AlphaTauri car, and it looks awkward on this car.
I also didn't like last year's AlphaTauri.
No,
so I'm not
but
even
is
going
it-
to say if it's a glow up or a glow down.
I think that it's a glow down because I still think the AlphaTauri car from previous year was really nice. Would you agree?
Cool. I didn't really like it. I thought it looked quite plain. The AlphaTauri from last year.
Fair enough. And then so the last one so far, other than McLaren, is the Aston Martin, which looks almost exactly
favourite.
the same.
Yeah, slight glow down because it's not got enough green.
Mm.
But the way they position the green, I think it still looks majority green.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like
the
it.
green. I'm glad it's not all black or mostly black, but there is a lot of black on it. I'm looking at it now. The rear wing, the front wing, the side pods, they painted it in a way where it looks completely green, but it's
But it's
quite
not.
black. But I like it. I
think it's good enough. But glow down, glow up.
Glow down.
Glow down.
Only because
Okay.
it's not got enough green.
Yeah, I'm gonna go glow down purely because you know how previous years the highlighted green was more obvious, whereas this year it's not as obvious, and I don't like that.
I like the darker green.
Yeah, I know. I don't. It's just that accent. That's
The one that was running through. Yeah.
yeah. And then lastly is the McLaren.
Yeah. Glow up. I did not like the blue. I did not like the blue from last
Yeah,
year.
we said that even the year before, didn't we?
Yeah. So
I think if you
like
look
it.
at the photo in my background of the chrome McLaren as well, I think you'll see they didn't use any blue on that either. Like I think they've dropped the blue now. However, I do think they could have used a teeniest bit of blue as accents in certain areas. That's going to be my only bit of feedback. Other than that, I think it's quite nice. It's not my favorite of the liveries already revealed. Actually, that's the Aston Martin. The Williams is probably my second favorite, and then probably the McLaren. But again, we haven't seen these out on track yet, and we also haven't seen them in real life either. So there's that too.
That's true. I do like the orange and black halo, and I like the fact that the wing is majority orange
Yes.
and not black.
That will make it really easy to recognize compared to the other cars. Like I think that will be one thing that really brings it out compared to others. I think that'll make it really nice.
And I know they're doing it for sponsors, but the Google colored wheels are just, ugh.
I don't mind them. Yeah.
If it was orange, I'd be like, that's cool, but it's not.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind
But
them.
the Red Bull one's already been leaked.
Well, it's the same as last year, isn't it? I mean, it's not going to change.
Max just pretty much said it, didn't he? There's no change.
Like,
There's no
I
change.
think we've talked about it before, like the most pointless jobs in motorsport. I genuinely think that one of them should be the Red Bull livery designer for the F1 team because it's the same every year. They just update the sponsors slightly, and that's about it. I would love for them to do something a little bit like, not revolutionary, but like completely rip up the script and do something new.
Do you know what's annoying? Is that because it's Red Bull and they're basically a marketing company, they could do something new and outlandish and crazy. But they don't. I don't know why. I know
Like,
they've
I
got
think-
certain responsibilities to sponsors, like, hey, you can't change the color of our logo,
Yeah.
that's fine. But they're one of the few teams where they could go
They
a bit
could rip up the
crazy.
script and go mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think let's be honest, the only team that can't really do that is Ferrari. That's the
Yeah.
only team. You have to have red. Like Ferrari can't turn up one year and be blue. Like what?
You know what? I think they could get away with yellow.
Yellow they could get away with, absolutely. But
That's a historic color for them. But yeah,
maybe white.
Ferraris.
If they did an all white Ferrari, that could pop. I think that could be really, really fun if they did it once for like a special.
I
but
did like
yellow
the red
makes
and white
sense.
Vegas Ferrari. That was cool.
Yeah, you did, yeah. But I think for me, I think that the Red Bull it's going to be exactly the same, and they could have easily done something a bit more interesting, or they could have done what Alpine do, where because they're sponsored by BWT, they do a special livery for like the first 6 races or something like that. That could also have been really cool.
Yeah, because Oracle's their title sponsor, and I think red is the main color for Oracle.
I think so, yeah.
That could have been a real fuck you to Ferrari.
Well, yeah, that could have been pretty fun. But don't you think that because Ferrari is red, it discourages other teams from using red?
Yes,
other than Haas, obviously.
Yeah, it does. Obviously, Alfa Romeo do it because red is one of their colors.
Yeah,
well.
but that's their brand identity. But like, there's no. Let's be honest. Alpine aren't known for being blue and pink. The only reason why they're pink is because of BWT.
I think they're known for being blue. I think Alpine is blue is their color.
But they're barely known. Like, more people know of Renault, and their colors are light blue and yellow. So there's no reason why they couldn't go for something different, you know? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that, like we do definitely need to see a little bit more paint on the cars. And
yes.
Hopefully we will see so like maybe halfway through the season, once we get a couple of special liveries in, I think maybe there will be some chips and changes. And also there's always new sponsors and stuff coming in. So yeah, maybe that will change things up too.
Yeah, definitely. And like they should also have some fun with the driver suits as well.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. The McLaren driver suits are ugly.
I mean, it's basically yours in the background there.
No, it's not. It's like a weird, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a
diagonal. I don't like it. Sorry, lads. You've dropped the ball on that. I think the last year's were really, really nice.
The new Ferrari ones look good.
New Ferrari ones look so nice. I quite like the Haas ones as well. They look quite good. The Aston Martin ones look good as well. The as we've already mentioned, the Alpha Tauri Racing Bulls ones look good too. Williams ones looked okay, but not like amazing. I don't think they look nice as white. But still, that blue does remind me of Deliveroo. I'm sorry, it just is Deliveroo blue. But any other team? We mentioned McLaren. Alpines were pretty basic. Also, did you see all 3 of the Alpine drivers looked at that livery when it was revealed, and they did not look pleased at all? They looked like they wanted to be anywhere else.
I did not see that.
Oh, it's so fun. I'll see if I can find it. It's very, very funny.
No, and then so we've got Ferrari tomorrow, Mercedes on Valentine's Day, and Red Bull on Thursday.
Yes, well, we do also have the McLaren car launch as well, but obviously that's already happened anyway. So
yeah, well, we know it's, and like you said, when they launched the cars, like I know some of them are redesigned, and they were talking through on the Alpine one. They're still hiding a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the things that there's also been a couple of photos coming from the shakedowns as well, because a couple of people have had shakedowns or days of testing and stuff like that. And some of the cars apparently look different to the livery reveals as well. And I would like to point out that, of course, the physical shape will look a bit different because the teams want to hide what developments they've been working on, unless you're Haas, I guess, in which case it doesn't really matter. But so the teams will want to hide what they've been working on. So it will just be a show car that, you know, like just as the most generic Formula 1 2024 car you could possibly find. It probably is also the show car that they used last year, just with less paint on it now. So, yeah.
But to see them like cost cutting, they're just scraping the paint
literally
off.
Yeah. But like, I think that you will be able to see all of the cars in their glory in testing in I almost said Saudi Arabia, but in Bahrain in a few weeks' time.
Next Thursday.
Yeah, it's not far away. We've got I swear, January drags on for 8 years, but February goes by like that. You know,
super quick.
It's ridiculous, right? Like I don't understand. It's just insane. But yeah, so we are halfway through the month already. So we have Drive to Survive, obviously launching on the 23rd, I believe.
I thought it was 26th.
No, 23rd is season 6 of Drive to Survive. Pre-season testing is on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And then, just as a reminder, No, it's not on the 24th.
They've got 4 days of testing.
Is it 4 days of testing? I thought it was 3.
No, it's 4 days.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Hold
4
on a
days.
minute.
How can you have 3? It'll be 2 days for each driver.
Have I? Because I've been sharing that calendar. Does that mean my
Oh,
calendar?
no, you're right. No, I'm looking at testing schedule.
2024,
Yeah, you're right.
23rd, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. I am right. You made me question my sanity. Oh, God, I thought my calendar was wrong as well. I checked that like 3 times. But preseason testing, as of right now, is in 8 days, 11 hours, and 39 minutes.
Ooh.
So we are just over a week away from seeing cars on track again. Wow. But yeah, like that's the gist of it. So and then obviously as a reminder, we do have the first race of the season is on a Saturday. Reminder, it is on a Saturday, the 2nd of March. And so that means that FP1 and 2 will be on the Friday, the 29th of Feb. And then FP3 and Quali will be on the 1st of March, which is on the Friday.